the learning is, I would say, four-dimensional almost, because you are thinking about yourself, thinking about how it applies, and then combining it all together. And I think it's so important because a lot of times, especially in the profession I'm going into, we get compartmentalized, and that's not how real life is.
So our in session was about brands and how we interact with those brands on a daily basis. It had a lot to do with sort of the blind consumption and the fact that when we wear or purchase those brands, we're sort of purchasing the history behind those brands. And so we sort of go through our daily lives like not knowing what that might be, so we might be advocating for something that we have no idea about.
How you're going to affect your money just not only affects you, it affects the people around you, it affects the world around you. You have the potential and the capability to change the world, and it depends on how you're going to spend your money. So we thought that that was very important, especially as being a constant. Sometimes you don't really think about your money. You're either spending it on alcohol or you're spending it on food half the time. And what does that really mean once you're in the real world?
What people learned was that everybody's mood and everyone's thought processes actually do help or disrupt any certain type of community climate. And that was really the goal of our session, was to have people understand that even the slightest noise or the slightest thought can really make a big difference.
Essentially what we wanted to do was inspire collaboration to the point that they'd be willing to share materials with each other, to understand that even third world countries can get by if countries with greater means are willing to share with each other.
With biology, there's a lot of different ways you can go with that, especially with the question, how will your major change the world? With the theme of reflection, we decided that water would be a really good central theme because, all of life is made up of water. Water affects the environment, it affects our health. So that's kind of like where our ideation stemmed from.
We focused it a lot on the ideas of criminal investigations and the concept of how people or victims in a police lineup will almost always choose a perpetrator regardless of whether or not that person actually did it.
I personally think that one of the most important things that we try to convey with our session was the connection between mind, body, and soul. So having these people sit down in a huge circle, in a huge tent, connected each and every single person in the room, as well as spiritually as physically.
Our focus was going to be on the scientific method and how all of our majors related to progress. But our main, goal for the class was to have a positive message about how we have this universal connectedness as human beings, and all societies, reach progress and find progress and make progress.
Be able to start thinking that there is no box and across these boundaries, and how I apply what I can do physically or mentally or through my work, how I can make something better, whether it be myself or my situation. And so I think that what we're doing is profound and not like anything else I've ever done on this campus.